Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 31st day of July. Today is National Avocado Day. It's also National Raspberry Cake Day. National Mutt Day. Our dogs are both mutts because they're not purebred. So they are. And also National Talk in an Elevator Day. Heidi always likes to do something like she'll pretend like she's on the phone and she'll say, so yeah, well, they say this rash is supposed to go away soon. And then she'll like itch an arm. It's kind of fun to watch. It's also Get Gnarly Day and National System Administration Appreciation Day. So all of those things to celebrate. And I've got a guest. I have a comedy call today, Heidi, and I'm super excited to visit with a young lady by the name of Esther Povitsky. And she's got several movies and TV shows and things she's been a part of. Very well known as a comic. Some people know her as Little Esther, but she's also got a new special. It's called Hot for My Name. Her name is Esther.
Okay.
Excited to chat with her. Coming up in a bit.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new study found that all mammals share equal brain connectivity and have the same speed of thinking regardless of the size of their brain. So if you've got a big brain or if you've got a little brain, it still connects, it's got the same amount of activity, according to this. I'm trying to figure it out. Do you know what that means? Does that mean we're all smart? Do I get an A?
Yes.
I don't know what that means. I have no clue. Mammals share equal brain connectivity and have the same speed of thinking. Same speed of thinking. I have to think this through. It's a little ironic. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Dramatic video captured a melee that erupted in Puerto Rico's International Airport in San Juan after a drunk woman refused to get off an airplane. Chaotic incident took place.
My gosh, most people can't wait to get off the airplane. They're crowding the aisles.
Well, let's explain here. She refused to disembark at the crew's request. I think she was
being kicked off the airplane.
Yeah.
Prior to takeoff.
Another passenger became ill around the same time, setting the stage for an ensuing bedlam. It's a word in the story here. After the captain canceled the flight by invoking a corona policy that allows for such actions for illness, like this person that got sick. Footage shared by passenger Jorge Luis Vargas captured the pilot's poorly received announcement. Second video, a crowd of people seen assaulting a woman in the terminal.
Yikes.
2 women involved refused medical attention. The police were called and arrests were made. So, yeah, it was a melee and some bedlam all in one story. And it's definitely what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jon Voight narrates a new documentary about Fox News founder Roger Ailes. I guess I never really thought about Jon Voight as a narrator, but he's got a great voice.
He has a great
good
voice.
At that.
Yeah.
Showbiz insiders say, oh boy, Heidi, this is going to ruin your day.
Uh-oh.
Showbiz insiders say Nene Leakes may not return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, you don't watch that show?
No.
You don't care?
Not even a little bit. Doesn't change my day.
Close call.
At all.
J-Lo, also known as Jennifer Lopez, was left stranded at a Hamptons beach after dune buggies that she had were towed. There was a sign that clearly said, you cannot park here. J-Lo pulls up and says, well, I'm gonna.
Doesn't matter who you are, sweet cheeks.
And then they say, decided we're going to take these dune buggies. And you're going to have to walk. So, yeah, it was quite the to-do. Big screen, little screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now, your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Federal government has reached a $2 billion, with a B, billion-dollar deal with Pfizer Pharmaceutical Company on a potential coronavirus vaccine that would be free to all Americans if it meets approval. So a $2 billion deal that they worked out there.
Wow.
Federal grand jury indicted 2 Chinese nationals who attempted to hack into American research institutions and steal vaccine details for the Chinese government. South Korean study found that people are more likely to contract the coronavirus from members of their own households than from any contacts outside of their household. I think it's because you spend more time with people in your household.
Okay.
That's what I would guess. But they came up with that study in South Korea. So there you go. Also, in another part of the world, a couple in the United Kingdom. We're going to take a moment to talk about this. They have won, and I did air quotes there, even though you can't see it on the radio. They've won a court case that allows them to name their son Lucifer. Did they really win?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, at the end of the day, so the court...
Why would you do that to your child? Do they hate their kid?
I have no idea. We don't know what
Good Lord.
their lives are like. We don't know anything about this couple. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. But here's my concern. That poor child
Oh, for
is
sure.
going to be saddled with that name. And the UK courts were saying, no, we're not going to let you name them. And they sued the hospital or whoever, and they got to go to court. And the court case, they won. Again, air quotes, they won.
Okay, I will say at the end of the day, it should never be up to the government what you can and cannot name your
There you
child.
go.
At
And
the
that's
end of the
why
day, period.
And I think that's kind of where they're at. They're like, you know what? It's not really up to the government. But at a certain point, you'd hope that some common
As
sense would take
parents,
place. Yeah. So
I mean, we went through how many names when we were naming Taylor, and we wanted to make sure because with our last name, Small,
yeah, our last name is Small.
you have to be very careful.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And we would say things many different ways to make sure there was no way they could get picked on.
Because kids are not necessarily
kids
known
are
for
not
being
nice.
so,
And imagine if your
Yeah,
name
his-
is Lucifer.
and it's the son in the United Kingdom is now going to be named Lucifer. And for those of you who don't know who Lucifer is, that's the name for the devil. So I think most people probably knew that, but just in case they're going, why? What's wrong with that? But there's a TV show, Lucifer, so maybe they're just big fans of the show.
But he was still Satan.
I know. I have no idea. I don't get it. Let's move on. A group of Polish football fans rented large cranes so they could look into the stadium that banned fans because of social distancing concerns. Now, keep in mind, in Poland, football is soccer. So in the United States and other parts of the world where they call it football,
Right. I get that.
where they call it soccer, they call it football. So I just want to make sure you understand. Huge fans. They rented cranes to sit outside the stadium and look down into the stadium and watch the game. That's absolute proof that there's not a lot going on in the sports world. So there you go. This has been your scoop of the day, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. It's time right now for a comedy call with a very funny comedian, Esther Povitsky. She's got a brand new comedy special on Comedy Central, and I love the name of this special, Esther. It's called Hot for my name. I love that. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and I had a chance to watch some of your stuff online. You're a very funny young lady, and this is pretty cool. This is a new Comedy Central special that just came out. And now tell me a little bit about the background and how you got to this point.
Yeah, so, I've been doing stand-up about the last maybe 11 years, and a friend of mine had shown my stand-up set to Adam Sandler, and he just said, I want to produce this. I want to make a special out of this. And that was pretty much, the kick in the butt that I needed to finally get it together and shoot the special.
And the thing that's cool is, in addition to doing the comedy special, you've had some opportunities to do some acting as well. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been trying to get into acting, I would say, the last 11 years, too, but I didn't really start making it happen until about 5 years ago when I was on a show called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and that was a musical comedy show. And then I had a show on Hulu called Alone Together, and right now I'm working on a show called Dollface. Kat Dennings, Brenda Song, Shay Mitchell, and it's kind of like about 4 women in their late 20s life living in LA, and we were about to shoot season 2 of that in May, and so of course, the pandemic hit. So now we're just kind of waiting to hear when we will be able to safely get back to work, which I have no idea when.
Now, you've guest starred on some shows that many people like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Workaholics, Key and Peele. So they've probably seen you in small parts on those things, but now they can see you in a bigger role on Dollface. Which do you prefer, being like the lead person in something that is maybe not as big yet, or do you like having like that bit part in the background on something that has like a huge following already?
I would say both. I think it's really nice to get those different experiences. It has been so cool on Dollface working with actresses of that caliber. That is the coolest thing to me, because Kat Dennings, Brenda Song, Shay Mitchell, they are all so talented. They have so much experience, and they're all such nice people. That to me has been the ultimate experience that I've been able to have, for sure.
And now with Hot for My Name, this new special on Comedy Central, you've got this opportunity right now where people are going to be tuning in, and they're going to be watching you, nobody else, just you, for like a whole hour. And how does that make you kind of nervous a little bit?
Maybe a little. I'm just more so excited for people to see it and kind of get to know the real me, I guess, and really just, everything on there is real and honest, and I hope people relate to it, and I hope they laugh and see how crazy we are. Now,
for young people who maybe want to pursue a career, either in comedy or in acting, what kind of advice would you give to them when they kind of feel like it's just an uphill battle that they're never going to win? What would you say to those young folks?
I would say that rejection is truly a part of this journey, no matter who you are, and the sooner you can just accept that rejection is coming left and right and push through it, the better, because, that's what it's all about, is being able to be told, no, you're not good enough, and you keep going.
That is fantastic. And your name, is that a stage name or is that your real name?
Oh my gosh, come on. Who would make that a stage name? That is my real name. I should have made a stage name. I made a mistake.
Have you ever had anybody, agents or anybody, tell you should use a fake name?
No, but I wish I would have. I wish someone would have pointed that out to me, because I would have loved to be like, Alexis King. But I probably would not be the same person at all. So I guess it's for the best.
Well, and I think, here's the thing that I think that this says about you. It's just that you are very genuine, because there are people, I've worked with people in my industry in radio where I don't even know their real name. I find out years later, I'm like, that's not even your name? I had no idea. But my favorites are the people who use their real name, because I just, like I do, this is my real name, but I just think that makes you genuine. It's like it seems like you're just a little more real than some of the others, right? Yeah,
I think so. I that's very complimentary. Thank you. But yeah, it's true. I'm not really pretending to be something I'm not. And if you see this special, you will definitely be confirming that.
Well, we're super excited for you, Esther. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And the special is called Hot for My Name, and it's on Comedy Central. And I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
President Calvin Coolidge had a pretty good sense of humor. Believe it or not, the 30th president of the United States thought it was hilarious to push the emergency buzzer on his desk and then hide behind a curtain when the Secret Service came running in.
Oh, wow.
So he'd push the little service button and then he'd hide, and he'd sit back there and laugh. One of my favorite stories about him, there was a lady that, he was also known as Quiet Cal. There was a lady that was writing a story about him. And when she sat down, first thing she said to him was, you know, everybody back at the paper has a bet with me. They bet I can't get you to say more than 2 words. And he said, you lose. And he left. I thought that was funny. Not nice, but
that's super cool.
She had her story. This has been today's fun fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline England. Hospitals in the UK are deploying robots that look a lot like R2-D2 from the movie Star Wars. Remember the guy, he looks like a little garbage can?
Yep.
And he's got things he like rolls around on?
Yep.
I just want to make sure you know who I'm talking about. They have little robots that kind of look like him to clean up surgery rooms during the COVID pandemic. So instead of having an actual janitor going from room to room cleaning things up, they have this little robot that's going around and sanitizing and doing stuff. So that's kind of interesting.
Even more jobs that'll never come back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. It's a news headline from somewhere in this world.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for some weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A South Carolina man who was recorded walking around a Walmart coughing on items and general merchandise has been arrested on a pair of felony charges. He's 39. Kyle Ardenell, I think is probably how he said it. Arendell, something like that. Busted for aggravated breach of peace, malicious injury to property in connection with a disturbance. Video shows him. It was recorded by a fellow shopper. He's not wearing a mask or anything like that. Deliberately coughing on a bunch of different things as he pushes a cart through the store. And he yelled loudly, "I did intentionally cause a scene." Court records do not reveal why he went on this coughing rampage. He claimed he could or did have COVID-19. He's locked up in lieu of a $6,000 bond. In light of his conduct, police say Walmart had to destroy a bunch of merchandise they could not sell because the, quote, infected and damaged items couldn't be sold. And I get that. Bad idea. Don't do that.
What is wrong with people?
It's on both sides because there are people
are losing their
everybody
minds.
Calm down. So there are people that are doing this, and there's other people that are wearing masks and they're like attacking people who are not. Everybody needs to calm down. All of you. I mean, when I say all of you, all of us, me too. I'm going to calm down. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh. He flipped out. That's the headline. A Florida man was caught on camera trying to evade arrest by doing cartwheels. Yeah, see, that's why the headline is he flipped out. It doesn't make a lot of sense to read the headline first when it doesn't make any sense yet. But he was doing cartwheels to get away from police. The now viral footage shows the gymnastics enthusiast blocking the path of a truck by doing a flip in the middle of the roadway. Officers took him down for apparently blocking traffic, but the man was able to wiggle out. He launched into a cartwheel. Didn't get too far. They were able to identify the spry 40-year-old as Gifranco Fernandez. According to the TV channel that did the story, he was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest. So, 40 years old. I don't think I could do flips.
There's no way I could do a cartwheel anymore.
I bet you could.
No, I've tried.
Should I try to do a cartwheel?
Face first into the dirt. It's not
really?
like riding a bike. It is not like riding a bike.
Do you think I could do a cartwheel?
No.
I think that we need a wager on this.
Challenge accepted.
So,
I'll record you.
all right. Well, find a nice, big, clear, open area that's soft when I land. Thanks for listening to today's Moment of Duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida. A Vero Beach man appealed his drinking and driving arrest because he said, I didn't drink and drive. I was only drinking at stoplights. Fake news or Florida?
Florida. We talked about him.
We did.
I remember him.
I remember too, because you said this man is my spirit animal.
He's not wrong.
No, you would never drink and drive. I
would never. No,
because I am the designated driver, and
because I've lost 2 cousins to a drunk driver.
You were supposed to say you are the designated drinker.
Well, the reason I will not drink and drive is because I've lost 2 cousins.
It is a bad idea, so don't ever do that. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Time now for a little bit of good news. We always like to wrap things up around here with good news.
Yes, we do.
So we're not only wrapping up the day, it's a Friday, wrapping up the week. So we need a good story, Heidi.
We need some really good news.
See, this one? No. This one? No. This one? Yes. This is it. Here's a headline. Police officer buys a homeless man a new pair of shoes. This was in Plano, Texas. Really cool story here because it was a call to police that acted with ended with a little act of kindness for a homeless man.
You all right?
I can't talk.
You ready for the weekend?
The Plano, Texas Police Department received a call to check on the welfare of a homeless man. Our officer spoke to the man and offered to provide him assistance. As often happens, he was advised he was fine and refused our help, the department wrote in a Facebook post. The dispatcher later made the police department aware that the man's shoes were so worn they were just shredded. After finishing the call, Officer David Hogan went and bought the man a pair of shoes so he would have a decent pair since he walks everywhere he goes. This is just another example of the acts of kindness from law enforcement officers.
You see it all the time.
They happen on a regular basis, but you never hear about it.
No, of course you don't hear about
it. Says
them.
We don't do this for recognition. We do it because we care. So I hope that we see this go as viral as if this incident would have ended poorly. You'd all know both of the people involved here. So I really hope that, a good news story like this gets just as much attention. Sadly, we know it won't, but it would be wonderful if it would. That would be just a great thing. So here's what I'm asking you to do. I've got a link to this in the show notes for today. If you would like to spread some good news for this weekend, you can find this story. Again, I have a link to it in the show notes, and you could share that. I would love to see this just kind of blow up and be everywhere. That'd be really, really nice. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.